Dools!
Has.
Both The Dry and Promising Young Woman have both been released and both met critical acclaim. We've seen them, we're reviewing them, but till then, Dools, just roll the intro. What's shaking, bacon? Welcome to another episode of the More Cops on Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the Eric Banner to my Bruce Banner. No, Eric Banner to my...
Yeah, that works.
My God. They got the sound. This is, until then, that's blown my mind. Edward Dools Dooley. Dools, how you doing?
Same phonetically.
Yeah, I thought I fucked that up. I was like, wait. No, yeah, it's same phonetically, different
Bruce Banner,
spelling.
Eric Banner, yep.
How you doing, Dools?
Eric Banner is snappier. It's like Banner. Whereas it's like Bruce Banner. You know?
Yeah, he's more calm.
Well, and like literally they're spelt like Banner. Eric Banner is B-A-N-A. You know that, right? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Can't really complain. How about yourself?
Mate, I'm good, dude. I've started a new show. I'm kind of addicted to it, called Your Honor, on Stan. Bryan Cranston starring. It's a Showtime produced show, and it's all about... Bryan Cranston plays a judge, that's why it's called Your Honor, and it's all about his son that commits a hit and run, and it's all about the repercussions following that, and it's episodic at the moment. It's released weekly, and I'm up to episode 6, and episode 7 comes out this Sunday, and I'm hooked. The end of episode 6 is like incredible. So
wow. Yeah, do you get the vibe that it's just like a one-off kind of...
Apparently it is a miniseries. Yeah, apparently it is.
Because I doubt he'd want to get tied down by another big TV show.
Yeah, another TV show where he's playing a dad as well. Like, he did Malcolm in the Middle. He did Breaking Bad, where it's just
well, and it sounds like it is similar to Breaking Bad. I mean, I'm making a huge assumption here. I haven't seen it. Just in the sense that he's a judge, so you imagine he's down the straight and narrow, but then he's probably forced to do some shady stuff because of the events that transpire. So, good guy turned bad kind of story, but I think he's good at that. He knows what he's doing.
He does know.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. I'll probably just wait. Do you know how many episodes there will be in total?
There's 10 episodes, so it will be done in let's say 4 weeks.
Yeah, easy.
Probably even 3 weeks now. It's well, there's enough to watch now. We got WandaVision's coming out today, Dools. You excited?
Whoa! Yeah, I think they'll drop 2 episodes. So I'll probably tuck into those at some point.
Yeah, that's gonna be my night tonight. My daughter repeats.
Crazy to think this is now the first... I mean, it doesn't feel like as big as Black Widow coming out, for example, like the first MCU film, but it's still significant. First MCU property since Far From Home, so... Yeah.
Absolutely. Dools, let's say that an average Joe stumbled upon the More Cops on Duty on Spotify, or... iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever they're doing, Dools. You don't know what they're doing over there. How would you describe?
What's Joe doing back there, Haz? What's he doing back there in that jewelry shop of his?
Well, what's he hiding?
What's Troy really doing back there?
Oh my God. So, a little context. Let's
Dools not give the context.
Okay.
Just in case he listens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Haz. Joe, I should say. You've stumbled upon Maine's #1 film, gaming, and TV podcast. Today we're reviewing The Dry and Promising Young Woman, like we said at the top. We typically do 2 episodes a week, More Cops and Duty Prime, and then the More Cops in Review. So, and soon to be coming an After Hours edition, More Cops Off Duty. We'll divulge more details about that later.
It's a good time.
It is a pretty good time. Can't take credit for that one, even though I would like to, but... so tune in, enjoy the ride, and see you at the end.
So Dools, as you said, this is more of an interview sort of episode. It's not going to be long. It's going to be pretty short, I would imagine. Depends how much we talk about it. We're going to go through The Dry, and we're going to go through Promising Young Woman. I reckon we'll do like a couple of minutes over top right now of what we think of both films, and then we can just go into spoilers. So if anyone that hasn't seen it, they could listen to that first 2 minutes if they should go and see it, and then come back after they've both watched both or either of those films. So I'll start. Let's start with The Dry. All right. The Dry, going into The Dry, Eric Banner, it's a mystery crime novel, and it's adapted to a film, has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, had huge expectations for this film. If I'm being honest, I love a good Australian film when they're done right, and this lived up for me. I loved every second of this. I thought Eric Bana nailed it. They had a full cast that was like everyone was brilliant, and I thought the ending, like there are some criticisms about the ending, but I think it fully paid off. Yeah, what do you think of The Dry?
Completely agree with that summary. I didn't go in with huge expectations, mainly because I just didn't know what to think. I mean, I had heard good things, but yeah, so I kind of I just went in blind and but yeah, it was still just blown away. I mean, that's really one of the best parts of going in to the cinema, seeing a film you haven't really researched a ton, looked up a ton about, and I don't know, just going off gut instinct. That my gut instinct was telling me it was going to be good, but it was still much better than I had possibly imagined. So, yeah, just really blown away by Eric Bana and the fact that it's just, yet another addition to not a huge catalogue but a modest catalogue of really strong Australian-made films.
Absolutely. Can't say more. I think it's pretty obvious that we both agree to go see this film. I think it's the best thing in cinema at the moment. With Nomadland's coming out in mid-Feb, we saw a preview showing for it, session. But right now, I think that The Dry is very much the best thing that's in cinema right now, and it's a lot of people are seeing it. Dools, you see the numbers are huge for this movie at the moment. They're going number one across the country, which is it's not unexpected because there's nothing else really coming out other than retro stuff. But it's good to see that people are getting out to support their local cinemas to watch this film, because I think it absolutely deserves it. Saying that, Dools, let's go into Promising Young Woman. Promising Young Woman, I've seen a lot of reports saying that it's people's movie of the year for last year, because it came out last year for the States. That it's up there for Best Actress for Carey Mulligan, and one of the best scripts they've ever seen. I really liked Promising Young Woman. I wouldn't say that it's anywhere near my favourite movie of the year. I would say that Carey Mulligan will probably get nominated for this. I think she's very much deserved. I thought she carried the film. I think that this was poorly advertised, this film. This film was advertised as a revenge thriller, sort of it's kind of spoilerish if I explain myself, but it's not what the trailer presents it as. You know what I mean? But in saying that, if you expect that, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in open-minded, I think that no doubt this movie is great. I really, really like this film. I don't think it deserves the highest praise that it's getting. I think it drags a bit in the middle and towards the end. But as a whole, I thought it was really good. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it as well. Yeah, I agree that the marketing was a little off base. I mean, I'd only really seen a couple of TV spots, so not even a full trailer, just 10 to 20 seconds of adverts or whatever, and still it was enough to kind of give me the impression that maybe I was going in to watch a psychological horror almost, or exactly. like you said, maybe a pretty not gritty but dark comedic revenge thriller that she was kind of on this warpath and doing all these things, and she was in a way, but in a much more subdued fashion. So yeah, I don't know about movie of the year, best actress, best script. That for me is a bit of a stretch.
Do you reckon she'll be nominated?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, again, when we spoke about Nomadland, Nomadland for me, I would, easily apply those same kind of considerations to that film.
Yeah,
far above Promising Young Woman. So, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But at the same time, there are probably some other films we are yet to see where lead actresses give, nomination-worthy performances. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess it could be up in the running for best original screenplay if it is that, or I don't think it was an adaptation or anything. So I think, Yeah, I think because it does have, a big part of the film is just its social commentary on. I think it's quite relevant and timely for this climate, and I think because of that, people are heaping on a bit more praise. So, whereas I don't know, had it come out 10 years ago, it would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a fun film, and it's got a good message. But I think even more so, I think I can see why the media might be rallying around it a bit more. So I don't know, but I mean,
sure.
but no, I mean, I still enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. So all in all, go see both these movies. I think very much prioritize The Dry over Promising Young Woman. But again, some people might love Promising Young Woman a lot more than The Dry, more than us. But yeah, so if you haven't seen this, drop off a bit. We're going to go into a little bit of spoilers for both films. So Dools, The Dry. Let's start there. We'll finish with Promising Young Woman. What did you think of the ending? Did it pay off for you?
It did, because it actually told us a lot more than I would have thought. I was like, okay, well, we'll surely, I thought a few different things could happen. I thought it could have turned out to be a goose chase the whole time, and oh no, he actually did kill his family. He was guilty the whole time, and maybe Eric Bana was, his character was only out there really because he was drawn back to memories of the place and that girl that he spent that time with as a kid, and some guilt was keeping him there, and he knew all along maybe that the guy did it, but he was still kind of just meandering around. No, so I was a little surprised by the ending, and in the sense that who was caught in the end, the principal was the culprit, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit of a left turn, and it felt like they reached that conclusion pretty quickly, even though ironically the film also was a bit of a slow burn. But it seemed like all of a sudden it's like, oh, yep, it's him. It's like, oh, fuck. And they just knew it. They just knew without a shadow of a doubt, based on this hunch and this little bit of evidence which had surfaced. But I was also really surprised that we got a resolution to kind of the other murder mystery. Yeah, the kind of adjacent, plot that was set in the past when he was younger and still living in the town. And because I thought that was always going to have a nebulous kind of resolution. I thought it's just like, well, we know he didn't. We know Eric Bana's character didn't have anything to do with her death, but we'll never really know what happened, whether she took her life or something happened. But no, they gave us a pretty definitive ending on both, and I appreciated that. But I actually don't think I would have minded if we didn't get any of that, to be honest, because I think it was just such a powerful journey. The endings to me didn't really do much to impact my opinion on the film. I was already just really impressed by it before that. So yeah, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I echo everything you said. I thought the corresponding timelines throughout the entire film were awesome. I really want to read the book, because apparently in the book you have a lot more of the past in it that I want to learn more about. But they have these little breadcrumbs in it that I thought were awesome. I picked up that the dad did it when Eric Bana's character Aaron, he was laying flowers at the grave of the girl that died. Ellie? Was it Ella or Ellie? Something like that.
Ellie sounds right.
Yeah. And he's just like, why? How are you so certain that our stories aren't true? What do you know that we don't? And I was just like, either the father did it, because they had talked about how she was running away from the father a lot because he'd be abusive. And or the brother did it and the father's covering up for the brother. And I was like, it's either one of them for me.
Yeah, in that moment I assumed that the father knew the truth of what happened, not necessarily that he did it, but I was like, okay, well, he has known more than he's let on this entire time. So yeah, I agree there.
And it also amazing resolution there, because towards the end of the film, you're led to believe that Luke actually did it. That you're very much certain that all right, all signs point to Luke fucking killed this girl. And then there's that scene where he comes to Aaron's house when they were younger in the middle of the night, and was just the police think that if you go and say that the police think that it's you that did it, because they have a note from you saying meet at the river late after school. He's like, this is what you're gonna do. We're gonna both say that we're shooting rabbits at my field, and that's our alibi. And then like throughout as the film's going on, you're like, Luke said that because that's gonna be his alibi. Like he's just trying to he's portraying it as if he's being a good guy and he's giving it to Aaron. But then at the end, when you realize that the dad killed him, you're like, no, Luke was just being an amazing friend. That like he knew that Aaron didn't kill this girl and didn't want Aaron's life to go up in flames because of just a note. There was like wrong place, wrong time sort of thing. I thought, and
even before the reveal as well, we learn. I'm forgetting her name, but the Gretchen, yeah. So his girlfriend from back then, and who Eric Bana reconnects with, Luke reconnects with in the story, because Eric just asked her point blank. He's like, "I never asked you, but I mean." No, sorry, she goes, well, I never told you. But yeah, Luke, what's his name?
Yeah, Luke was with me. Yeah, Luke, you're right.
Luke is his name. Okay, what's Eric Bana's character's name again?
Aaron.
Okay, so yeah, Luke was with me that night. And so that was even though we had suspected some other things were going on, that was just like the nail on that coffin of that theory, because it was like, oh wow, so yeah. But yeah, I think it was really well written and performed absolutely. In that way, because I mean, yeah, you really like, even though those kind of crime dramas and whatever, like they have their tropes, and you know you can kind of tell where they're trying to lead the audience to think one way or another, but it was doing it in such a subtle way as well that, you know, I was still kind of guessing Eric Bana's character's involvement till the end, just only because, not if he had a direct impact, but maybe he did know something happened. So I think it was just really well done that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, just to touch on quickly, like as you said, it was written beautifully. I thought that all performances were amazing. Shout out to Eric Bana's shirt that doesn't change throughout the entire film, even though he's in a rural town for 2 weeks. And the cinematography, Dools, was amazing. Like it was beautifully shot. I thought it was really, really well done. If I was to give a number towards it, I'd probably give it a 9. I really, really fucking love this movie. Dools, Promising Young Woman. Now, what we saw from the trailers is you did allude to that this did look like a revenge, bizarre thriller, comedic horror sort of film, where this woman is going after guys that are trying to take advantage of drunk girls at nightclubs and stuff. And she would go after them and kill them. Like, every bit of advertisement was about that. Like, down to the poster where there's blood dripping everywhere. Like, that's what it's going after. But it's not that. She does go after guys like that, like monsters. But then she'd get home and then she'd straight away snap to being sober again and basically tell them off and basically like scare them and warn them and then leave.
Yeah.
Where like, I was expecting the others, so it's like I was a little bit disappointed, but it's like not disappointed in what it was, but it was like, that's just my fault, I guess, but it's also kind of fault to the advertising that I was expecting something else. But Carey Mulligan's character is so hard to like in this film, but that's what I guess she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be this cold-hearted, like rock of a human now that's like so desensitized to the world around her that all she cares about is getting revenge, basically, on every guy that was like the guys that raped her best friend. But towards the end, I like the film as a whole. I think I liked a lot more than you did. Because towards the end, I loved all the intricacies towards all the relationships, that they're all just failing and failing and failing. Because she's like really, the wool's been pulled over away from her eyes because she sees how everyone around her, other than her parents, are just terrible human beings. And she's like, she like breaks all of a sudden as soon as that bit of evidence is given to her with the video, that she breaks all of a sudden, and she just like goes all in on the cartoon, is like how much of a cartoon this film is. But as a whole, like as I said, it does drag a lot in the middle, which it turns into a rom-com for like 45 minutes with Bo Burnham, who Bo Burnham was great in this movie, by the way, like great side character. But I thought it was just a bit of a change that like it felt so like unsubtle and like jarring that it didn't really work for me that much. Like I'm all for a rom-com, Dools. Believe me, I'm all for it. From Crazy Stupid Love to Love Actually, love them all. But I just felt like it didn't really fit in this film. I get why it was used mainly to show that she's evolving from being like a cold-hearted, desensitized person to becoming human again. But it did, like, that part didn't really work for me. But as a whole, I really, really enjoyed this film, and I thought the ending was awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think, wow, that kind of, that very sudden segue to turning into a rom-com kind of, threw me off a little bit, and I found it a little jarring as well. I do respect that it was probably necessary to really, like, it felt so sudden in the same way that when it yanked you back into the revenge storyline was also quite jarring and sudden as well. So, I mean, I think that was obviously deliberate and, pulling the rug out under your feet for a second time, in a sense. So, because, you think everything's totally sweet with her and Bo Burnham. Oh, okay, maybe she's actually going to find some, some peace and closure after all. And, that's obviously doesn't turn out to be the case. But, I think, and so, I don't know. I think, it was just really. It had a strong finish. I think it meandered a little bit in the middle. A very strong finish. I think I do like how everything was wrapped up neatly, and she clearly had orchestrated this big plan, this big showdown in a way. And even though I don't think it was obviously a contingency, but it was still like I think she maybe in the back of her mind knew what happened would happen. I mean, we've already spoiled it. She dies. But
there's a spoiler cast.
Yeah. So
the way she dies is horrific.
It's pretty fucked up. I mean, Jesus, that is like, it was like more realistic as well. I felt.
Yeah.
So she was checked out with a pillow basically, but it fucking lasts for like what felt like a proper 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it was
really long time.
Watch.
I was like,
because we kept like expecting her to like get a knife or something and stab him or something, like, try and escape, but it just didn't come. She just straight up died. But like at the same time, she wasn't.
And it took
dead.
such a long time.
Yeah,
like I was like,
absolutely.
This is. But I think it was, the film's definitely designed to make people feel uncomfortable. I mean, I don't know, maybe it will make people who have engaged in kind of questionable acts like that before, not necessarily what those guys did, but just like the whole preying on drunk women, give them pause or whatever. Almost, So
absolutely,
it was. Yep.
Yeah, but as a whole, would you say would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would. I think because there is not obviously a ton on, but I think it's definitely worth your time and money. Great performances. So Kerry Mulligan, as we said, Bo Burnham. Shout out to Clancy Brown, who plays the dad, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, he's great.
And it is a good movie. I mean, we may be sounding a little too critical, but I think we're just it is definitely worth your time. I mean, if I had to slap a score on it, I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10, something like that.
I'd probably agree. I'd give it a 7. I was originally going to give it an 8. I was like, I felt like it was just, I woke up the next morning. I was like, it did drag a lot. So I was like, it was great. It was great, a strong word. It was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good movie. I agree with you. It deserves your money. Go support your local cinema. And yeah, absolutely go see it. But until then, Dools, sign us off.
This has been another installment in the More Cops in Review podcast. Main's number 1 film, TV, gaming podcast. You all know who you are, our super fans out there. Don't write in. Tell us who you are. Tell us your story.
Tell us your story.
Until next time, I'm Dools, has, and we're out.